Alrighty, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning. You are watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are standing at the Polderbaan today. It's a windy day, even though the meter says that the wind is, 13 knots? It definitely feels like more. I forgot to put the brake on my utility cart and it almost drove into the water. When I was looking on my laptop, I heard something and all of a sudden the utility cart was almost in the water. So I put it on the brakes now, forgot to do that. Should be good now. Hope everybody is doing well. Our first airplane arriving is a CRJ from SAS, arriving from Copenhagen. Flight 2551, 1 hour and 2 minutes underway. 7-year-old airplane, first flight December 2016. Now the voiceover might sound a little different. I am experimenting with a different position that might also cover it a bit more from the wind. It's now on the inside of my coat, which has hooks to guide wires from headphones. And they nicely fit a lavalier mic. I'm also thinking about a way to mitigate the wind noise during windy days like today. Stabilizer is already on. Yeah, it says 13 knots wind. Well, the wind is coming from this direction. Luckily, it is a nice day and it is looking like it's going to open up even further. Might even get to see some more sun. This is looking to the south. Clouds are drifting out and the current wind on the scale of chimney smoke blowing directly away from us, nearly horizontally. Our next airplane to arrive is also from SAS. It is an A320neo arriving from Oslo. Brand new airplane, first flight November 2023. Very good morning to everybody who has joined already. Austrian Wolf, Jackie, Tiger, Evan, Maria, all others who have joined already, good morning. LL Dreamliner coming this way, crabbing its way over here, arriving from Tel Aviv, flight 337, 7879 Dreamliner. 4 hours and 10 minutes underway. The airplane is 6 years old. First flight July 2017. And Evan, yesterday was a combination of bad weather, drizzle, until mid-afternoon, I believe, until it got consistently dry. And also finishing, well, yet another step in the process of getting my lawn in the backyard. A cubic meter of dark soil was delivered to me yesterday morning, so I already transported the bags into the flat sand bed that I created last week. Going to order the grass rolls to have them delivered on Thursday. And I'm planning on preparing the soil, opening up the bags and making everything level and straight the day before, the night before, the evening before. So it's a combination of two things. Lovely 2 airplane glide slope shot here. A Dreamliner in the foreground, a Delta A330 in the background, and we might also, if we are lucky, if it continues its turn, see a 777-200 become number 3 in a moment. Hadi Rob, goedemorgen. You're welcome. Rob already says, thank you for your stream. Well, I've only just begun. Haven't done much yet. .13 wind according to the METAR. My ass. Or as we should say, as we say in Dutch, echt niet. Really not. So I'm seriously considering buying a blimp for my Sennheiser mic. Now the downside is that those things are humongous and you cannot place them on your camera. I would have to place it on a separate stand on the ground, and it will not be able to move unless a second person moves the blimp along with the airplanes. Never a dull moment in agricultural land. They are currently riding out the manure to fertilize the acres left of me. Now the upshot of a blimp is that it will really work well to mitigate wind rumble, so you will hear everything much more clearly whenever the wind is like today or more. The downside is that I would have to point the mic straight ahead, for instance, and it means that you will not pick up airplane sounds as well when the source of the sound source is not right in front of the microphone. Just took a few recordings of landing planes before going live, just with the camera and the microphone positioned straight ahead, just to see what it sounds like. I hope it will be good enough so that on days like today, in the near future, we will not have that interfering wind rumble anymore. This is Delta Airlines Flight 74, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. It's an A330-300 and it is 8 years old. What a superb landing. That was beautiful. Alrighty. Hey there, Tony. Good morning. Mark, good morning. Mr. Blue Sky, Julie, Rob, Twan, Matt, and all the others who have joined in the meantime. Tina, good morning. This is KLM Flight 592 arriving from Johannesburg. 777-200, I should say. ER, 10 hours and 27 minutes on the way. 20-year-old airplane, first flight March 2004. And a German Airways Embraer 190 that is also officially flying for German Airways will be number 2. Looks like a lot of narrow bodies after this airplane. So, German Airways up next, but not flying for KLM by the looks of it, but flying for German Airways itself, arriving from Cologne, Köln, or Keulen as we say in Dutch. Flight time 35 minutes. It's an Embraer 190 AR, 15 years old, first flight January 2009. 2 airplanes behind it visible, taking the glide slope shots, narrow bodies galore. Second airplane is an Embraer 175 arriving from Southampton, KLM flight 1070. The third airplane is an A319 EasyJet arriving from Birmingham, and the fourth is arriving from the left, from the west, A321neo arriving from Boston, JetBlue, which I'm not sure we will be able to see all together in one shot. It is flying base still, but it just passed over the coastline, so probably still a couple of minutes out. Hey there, the cat. Meow meow, good morning. En Peter, goedemorgen. Tuning in from Nieuwegein. I see another heavy in my little postage stamp screen of flight radar. United flight 968 arriving from San Francisco. 777-200. Now, speaking about arriving flights from California, one of the flights expected later in the morning. Yeah, 13 knot wind, folks. It is, of course, the KLM Orange Pride, the PHBVA, arriving from LAX. Let me unpin that message that I pinned. makes the chat window more easily viewable. For landing. Hey there, Thomas, good morning. And indeed, RDW passed the screen test yesterday evening. So really was confused. Initially I thought that the first film crew was doing pointer, and it turned out that it was the program called focus, and then I thought, okay, so the second crew was also then for focus, and that turned out to be for pointer. Really confusing. Two different programs that are often scheduled immediately back to back on TV, covering a similar topic but a week apart. EasyJet A319 having arrived from Birmingham. Little butt shot to finish it off with. Martinair, goedemorgen. JD, morgen. Hopo as well over there in Thailand. Hadi Han, goedemorgen. Hey there, Chaz, good morning. Now, let me see. I can still increase the drag setting on my. There it goes. Clicking into position. More resistance on the left-right movement. Maybe it will help make the movement go a little bit smoother. More smoothly. Our next airplane to arrive is from JetBlue. It is arriving from Boston, Massachusetts. The airplane behind it is the 777-200 arriving from San Francisco. Works better than the medium setting. Right, our next airplane is arriving from San Francisco, United Airlines Flight 968, 777-200 ER arriving from San Francisco, 9.5 hours underway, 26 years old, first flight February 1998. Also a big thank you to Mrs. Professor, who celebrates 7 months of membership, and she writes, thanks for 7 months of planes and good times. Well, thank you so much for your continued support, Mrs. Professor. I hope you still like it in the lounge. And if something isn't to your liking, let me know. Let me see if I can fix it. Thank you so much for your continued support, Mrs. Professor. Alrighty. One of the menu items that I mentioned in the first chat is arriving. Now flying over Purmerend. Looks like it is going to be the number 2. It is the A350 from Finnair in the Marimekko livery. Before that, the A320neo arriving from London Gatwick, EasyJet, flight 28674. "34 minutes underway. 4 years old, first flight July 2019. Now the question is, can we see the A350 already? I'm looking over my camera to see if I can spot something, and I think I have it. Clearly discernible, the Marimekko special livery A350. Coming soon. Ah, you also saw me, Evelyn. Yeah. Said it before, they totally confused me. The first crew I thought was for pointer, but turned out to be for focus. And the second crew I thought, well, if the first one was for focus, then they're probably going to do a two-part item or something. And it turned out that they actually were for pointer. So I totally misled you guys with which program you should watch. Did make a new post in the community section with the proper links now. No butt shot from the Neo. In that case, let us turn back, have a look at the approaching A350 from Finnair. Hey Captain Jerry, morning mate, good to see you again. Hope all is well. Once again, glide slope shots, as you can see. Our next airplane cramming its way over here is the A350 from Finnair Marimekko Kivet, if I recall correctly, special livery. Balls galore. Let's hope for a butt shot. Balls and butts go well together. Now if the voiceover mic sounds a little different today, that is because I changed the positioning. Particularly on windy days, the mic on the cap is exposed to the wind more than where it is positioned right now. It is positioned on the lapel, so to speak, of my coat, which should cover it protect it from the wind better than the position on the hat. does make the sound a bit less clear and bassy if my sound tests at home are representative for how it sounds in the field. But it should still be intelligible if all is well. If it isn't, let me know. Hey there Steve J, good morning. Frank, goedemorgen. Dutch Flight Simmer, goedemorgen. Thank you for the kind words. They did cut it a little bit strange. I was warning them about an airplane that might get loud in potential, and they basically showed the footage of an Embraer doing a wheelie after that. Which of course isn't using its reversers and is not allowed landing. Thank you Mark for letting me know that the sound is quite good. Did do some testing yesterday on my bike, driving in the wind, pedaling as fast as I can just to see what the wind noise would do. I think it is better in protecting the wind from the wind. And here it is, the Marimekko A350. Quite a ballsy airplane. Sadly no butt shot, at least not from the first exit. Right, a belated butt shot with balls to boot. And good morning, Kai Manan. Thank you for the kind words. Michelle, good morning. Evan says, can you send me a dated autograph that probably will help me pay for an Amsterdam trip? Man, I don't think that my autograph is worth that much already. I wish it was, but when it will, you will definitely get one. If it ever comes to that. Now, also a big thank you to our moderator Jackie, who is celebrating 10 months of membership, and he writes 10 months on the dot. Keep up the good work, boy. Time flies, doesn't it? 10 months already. Thank you so much, Jackie, for all your support and everything you've been doing ever since you've become a moderator. Very much appreciated, very happy with you and the rest of the team. Thank you so much for your continued support, Jackie. I hope you are going to stick around for many more months to come. If not as a moderator and or member, then at least as a frequent visitor. Now, our next airplane to arrive is arriving from Zagreb, Croatia Airlines, flight 450, A319. 12 years old, first flight March 2012. From an airplane with dots, we go to an airplane with squares. So logically thinking, the next airplane should have deltas, but is that the case? No, it is KLM Blue. There's an error in the matrix, a glitch in the matrix. This isn't right. We should see triangles now, but we don't. And also a big thank you to Jerry for your super chat, Television Star and AV Pro. Well, AV Pro, I'm not sure about that. Television Star, also something I wouldn't be too certain about, but thank you so much for the super chat and your kind words, Jerry. And also a big thank you to Evelyn, 4 months of being a member. I'm loving the streams, she writes. Well, thank you so much for everything, Evelyn, including and particularly for that beautiful painting that you made not too long ago. If you don't know, what I'm talking about, have a look in the community section. I took a picture of it. Evelyn made a painting, an AMS Live Dreamliner. Really lovely. Well, our next airplane to arrive is arriving from New York, JFK. It is a Dreamliner 787-10, KLM flat 644. Outbound traffic overhead. And it's one of those days where I have to press on the labels quickly, otherwise I don't see the flight time anymore. This airplane is 4 years old, first flight December 2019. Goedemorgen Alex, tuning in from Kaapstad. Our next airplane is an A320neo. Am I still in time to click on the label? I am, yes. Still a bit out. Gives me time to do a quick briefing. Right, airplanes of interest coming this way. We have the Orange Pride that is expected around noon local time, which the time you can see in the bottom left corner. 12:15, the Saudia 747, not far behind it, 10 minutes later, Cathay Pacific Cargo, and also expected around 1 o'clock is the A380. Let's do a refresh of the METAR. Now it is Cavo K, 14 knot wind, 220 degrees, varying between 190 degrees and 250 degrees. Definitely feels like more wind. And the crabbing also, I would say, a bit more substantial than you would expect from a mere 14 knot wind, but there you go, the meter says it, so it has to be true then, I suppose. Our next airplane, SAS Type 1553, arriving from Stockholm. It's an A320neo. I don't have to do anything, the time vanishes without me changing anything in flight radar. It was about an hour and 45 minutes just now. Right, well, in the meantime, it is still relatively quiet over here. A couple of people on the bench, a bit further out. Also somebody on the concrete. There's also a concrete bench-like thingy. And over at the Spottersplatz itself, seems that there's nobody there. There probably are a few people there, probably sitting in their cars. Donald and Daisy seem to be over there. Or are this Donald and Daisy? No. Daisy and Chris Coot. Hard to see with the backlight. Wind on the scale of chimney smoke looks like this. KLM A330 outbound to Houston, or Houston, or Houston. We'll have to wait a few moments before the next arriving traffic becomes visible. Looks like an E2 Embraer arriving from Berlin is going to be the first next airplane. There's also a 737 that looks like it might do a short circuit arriving from Paris. Little bit of sunshine, might get better as the day progresses. There's also a little contrail visible over there. Twin jet flying northeast-ish, I would say. Now east of me. Quite a substantial bit already. Now in the meantime over here, fertilizing is going on. This tractor is driving back and forth with manure, which also is in the truck over here. They're pumping it over. The blue container is, I think, the reservoir from which the tractor who is driving it over the field is doing the refills. Are hiding from the wind, and in the meantime, well, it looks like the E2 Embraer has won the race. First airplane on the glide slope. KLM Flight 1772 arriving from Berlin. 1 hour exactly underway according to flight radar. The PH NXF, 2 years old, first flight October 2021. And I'm expecting the 737 arriving from Paris in a few moments, entering the field of view from the left. According to flight radar, it is turning final. There it is. And another tractor is approaching from behind me, will pass us by in a moment. A third airplane we might also see a third airplane in a moment arriving from the right. The Lufthansa Flight 2302. More shit has arrived. We have shit, we have wind, so it is officially a shit storm. Now, let's see, maybe if we turn a little bit further to the right, maybe a little bit lower. In the background, we should see an A321 Lufthansa arriving from Munich. Hopefully. Make the shot a little wider as well. Right. Next, KLM Flight 1402. arriving from Paris, Charles de Gaulle. We do have the A321 from Lufthansa now behind it, and we might get to see a third airplane approach from the left in a moment, which would be a KLM Embraer 190 arriving from Geneva. Also a big thank you to DR Visuals for your super chat. And DR Visuals writes groetjes uit Hengelo. Greetings from Hengelo. Thank you so much for that. Very much appreciated. DR Visuals. Groetjes terug from Amsterdam. Is it as windy over there as it is over here? Usually more windy in the coastal regions than more land inward. So I'm wondering if that is the case today as well. And there's the third airplane. Nice 3 airplane glide slope shot. Embraer 190 arriving from Geneva is the third airplane now turning onto the glide slope. And good morning to Thomas, who is tuning in from China. Nice. Welcome to the show. And all other viewers, if you're new to the channel, feel free to say hi. It's not mandatory, but it's always appreciated. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. There are many people watching. All of them are friendly and a lot of them are knowledgeable as well. Looking up, don't see any contrails in my immediate vicinity. Our next airplane to arrive is an A321 arriving from Munich, Lufthansa flight 2302. Flight time no longer mentioned, but will probably be around an hour and 10 minutes. It's a 12-year-old airplane that had its first flight in August 2011. Now also a big thank you once again to DR Visuals, who just now gifted a membership. If you are the recipient of the membership, don't forget to say thank you. And be sure to use those custom emojis that are now at your disposal whenever you see fit. Thank you so much again, DR Visuals. No butt shot for the Lufthansa. Let us turn back then. Ah! I think Russell and Cheryl are also back. At least it sure looks like them. Again, overhead traffic. Hey there Alan, what is up? Good to see you mate. Hope all is well. This Embraer 190 is KLM flight 1930 arriving from Geneva. 15 years old, first flight October 2008. Oh. Yeah, that's the image stabilizer for you. Looks like we are getting ourselves a butt shot from the Embraer. How about that for some nice karma? Alan just gifted a membership, and DR Visuals, who wasn't a member yet but gifted the membership himself, just now got gifted the membership. Alan, thank you so much, and DR Visuals, welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Circle of Life here on AMS Live. Another little Embraer. This is KLM Flight 1352, Embraer 175, arriving from the Czech Republic, from Prague. Time for a Delta A330 Neo, no less, arriving from Salt Lake City. With a Dreamliner arriving from Cape Town behind it. This is Delta Airlines Flight 56, arriving from Salt Lake City. 9 hours and a minute underway now. 3-year-old airplane, first flight September 2020. The next airplane behind it is KLM Flight 598, arriving from Cape Town, South Africa, and that is a 7879 Dreamliner. There's a third airplane approaching the glide slope from the right. That would be UR Airlines, operated by BH Air, which is coming in from Iraq, Erbil. Hey, and good morning, Lucia. Hope all is well. Right, up next, a crabbing Dreamliner, KLM Flight 598, origin Cape Town, South Africa, 11 hours and 6 minutes underway as we speak. Eight-year-old airplane that had its first flight in October of the year 2015. Up next, UR Airlines, operated by BH Air, arriving from Erbil in Iraq, an A320 that apparently has the capability to fly from Iraq to Amsterdam. Did not know that. Never realized that these A320s could travel so far. This airplane has been flying now for 4 hours and 50 minutes, so it's not that far actually. Also a big thank you once again to DR Visuals for your super chat. Very much appreciated. Thank you so much, my friend. UR Airlines flight 421, 18 years old. This airplane, first flight May 2005. That's interesting. Nicely done. It's an A320er. Giving us a butt shot to boot. Next up, Darom, flight 361, arriving from Bucharest. Now, quick look at the meter. Let's refresh. And we can see that the wind is now 18 knots with gusts up to 28, more in line with what I have been feeling here all along. Let me see if I can paste it into the ticker after this landing. This 737-800, arriving from Bucharest, is 10 years old and had its first flight in October 2013. Landed smoothly. Our next airplane is going to rob a bank. Air Canada, flight 900, arriving from Montreal. 7878 Dreamliner, 5 hours and 58 minutes on the way. 9 years old, first flight October 2014. Pasting the meter into the ticker. There you go. So in the ticker you will see the weather now. Starts with the date, the 12th, and the time 8:25 Zulu time, and then the wind from 240 degrees, 18 knots with gusts up to 28 knots. It is CAV okay, otherwise ceiling and visibility are okay. The air temperature 16 degrees Celsius already. 16 times 2 equals 32. 32 plus 30 is 62, so around 62 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, I'm still standing here with my winter coat on and my gloves bag on. Nice landing, but will we get a boot shot from this Air Canada Dreamliner? I think we might. Well, not from the first exit. Hey there Ross, good morning, goedemorgen. You're welcome. And I am doing well, thank you for asking. I hope that also goes for you back in Vancouver. A belated boot shot of Air Canada. Next up, arrival from Frankfurt, Lufthansa, flight 988, A320. We have an EasyJet behind it and a KLM 737. The EasyJet is an A319. And the fourth airplane in the background approaching from the east. Visibility perfectly fine. Ooh. All right. Guy on a quad of sorts. Bit dirty. The quad. Up first, A319 EasyJet arriving from Prague, Czech Republic. Number 2, KLM 737-800 arriving from London Heathrow. Third airplane turning in Transavia arriving from Ljubljana in Slovenia. Michael says, hope you've had your coffee. It's non-stop this morning. Well, the wind is non-stop, absolutely. Traffic seems to be quite normal. But yeah, over here at Schiphol, it is non-stop. Hoping for more heavies. Always visually more interesting than constantly the same narrow bodies. But at least it's not Embraer after Embraer, at least. Oh. That's the second airplane where we see that the airplane made a little hop but stuck to landing. Kudos for the pilots, to the pilots, for the pilots too. Kudos to, kudos for, two. Kudos to the pilots. What is up, Janus and Eversteria? Good morning to you both. And all the other people who have joined in the meantime. Welcome to AMS Live. It's a windy day today. This is Polderban runway when I ride. At the moment the only runway being used for arrivals. We have wind blowing from the southwest, 18 knots with gusts up to 28. No go around so far. Couple of landings where we were thinking it might go around, but it didn't. And our next airplane is arriving from London Heathrow, KLM flight 1002, 737-800, 17 years old. Bird controller is over there. K1 in the VW. The firefighters already did their rounds as I was still setting up, so we won't get to see them, unfortunately. Unless there would be an emergency, which I hope we will not see today. Also a big thank you to Kevin Gartland, who just now sent a big PayPal donation. Just received notification through the app. Thank you so much for that, Kevin. I hope you are watching and you can hear me say thank you. Captain Jerry signing off. Man, it's a day with glide slope shots and you're not sticking around. Makes me sad, but then again, if you feel your bed calling, if you hear your bed calling, better give in to it then. And we will meet again, I'm sure. Alrighty, on the glide slope right now, an Embraer 190 arriving from London City and a 737 arriving from Copenhagen, both from KLM. Third airplane just about visible, far left, center of the screen. That would be a Bombardier C-Series 300 A320 Air France arriving from Paris. Bam, butt shot in the house. Next up, KLM flight 1268 arriving from Copenhagen, 737-800. Around an hour underway. Also a big thank you to Adriaan for your 3 months of membership. Thank you for your continued support, Adriaan. And if something isn't to your liking in the lounge, let me know. See if I can fix it. "23 years old, this airplane. Still bouncy. It hasn't lost its youthfulness. More manure transport. Fields are getting a fresh layer of manure. The blue thing is, the blue container is the depot. Another 3 airplane glide slope shot, and the first airplane to arrive is Air France flight 1444, Bombardier C-Series, or A320 as they're called these days, 300. Comes in from Paris Charles de Gaulle, 51 minutes underway, brand new airplane, again flying in May last year. The 2 airplanes behind it are BA flight 430 arriving from London Heathrow, and another EasyJet A320neo arriving from Geneva. Hadi Ton, goedemorgen. Orange Pride just before Ireland, he mentions. Thanks for the update, Ton. Last time we checked flight radar, it was expected around noon, and between it and the around 1 p.m. expected A380, there are 2 747s also coming in. Full tractor passing by. Bonjour mes amis. No wavy wavy. Dommage. Une autre fois. Ah, die Clementia. Goedemorgen. Good morning. Ron says, hope you're not downwind of that slurry spreading. No mate, I'm upwind. The wind's blowing away from us. The wind actually is coming from this direction. So on the scale of chimney smoke, this is what the wind currently looks like. You can see this blowing away from me. Luckily the shitstorm will pass north of me. Next up, BA flight 430, arrival from London Heathrow, A319. 23 years old, first flight April 2000. Wow, April 2000. This airplane was already flying nearly 1.5 years when 9/11 happened. If you think about it like that, this is an ancient airplane. Right, JD is hopping off, has other plans, rightly so. Enjoy Thailand, enjoy the food particularly as well. Niels, goedemorgen. Delfzijl, also windy, the north of the Netherlands. It is semi-sunny, I would say. Still a bit of high cirrus clouds between the sun and us. Might open up a bit more as the day progresses. No precipitation expected. Not for today, not for tomorrow, and also not for Sunday, I believe. Arriving from Geneva, this is an A320neo from EasyJet. Hey, goedemorgen Roadhog. QJ asks, what do you name the planes DHL sends then? If BA was ancient, flying fossils is what they are. Another 3 airplane glide slope shots. Transavia flight 6610 arriving from Innsbruck up first. ITA arriving from Milan, A320neo up second. The third airplane is Play. So nice contrasty lineup. White with a bit of blue, a bit of green, all blue, and then all red. Dust off the playtime emojis, ladies and gentlemen. And also prepare your butt shot emoji. what is up, Paul? Good to see ya. That guy also from Yorkshire, that lady that interviewed me saw when she looked on the computer and saw the chat window. Oh, somebody from Austria and somebody from Yorkshire. Shout out to the moderators, Austrian Wolf and Yorkshire Biker. Right, in the meantime, Donald is also nearby. Quackity quack. Donald is back. Oh yeah, absolutely, Paul. That was in reference to you. When that lady had a look on the chat window, she saw your name, Austrian Wolf's name, so she said, oh yeah, somebody from Yorkshire, somebody from Austria. Now, this is an airplane arriving from Italia, from Milan, no less. A beautiful blue ITA Airways A320neo, landing safely. Nice contrast with the next airplane, the Play Red airplane. Two striking airplanes back to back. And Niels is asking if we're also able to see outbound traffic from over here. Well, insofar as they take off from the center runway a little bit. But we are quite far removed from the rest of the airport area, so airplanes taking off from 18 left, hard to see. Airplanes taking off from center, a bit better to see, but still far away. 3 more airplanes on the glide slope. Our next airplane to arrive, an A320neo from Play, arriving from Reykjavik, flight 460, 2 hours and 39 minutes underway. The airplane is a year old, first flight October 2022. And the next airplane is from KLM, arriving from Zurich, 737-800, and the third airplane is a Delta A330 arriving from Minneapolis. Crabbing away. And there's even a fourth, which is an Embraer 190 by the looks of it. Now, she's already going rather slow, so I'm thinking the butt shot is also in the making. Playtime butt shot, here we go, combo shot. Howdy Patrick, goedemorgen. Good morning Andrew. And all other viewers who have joined us in the meantime, welcome to the show. This is AMS Live, my name is Boy. We are standing along the Polderbaan, runway 18 right. At the moment the only runway for arrivals. Crosswindy conditions, wind blowing from the southwest. Our next airplane, KLM flight 1918. Arriving from Zurich. Oh, I see that this is no longer the only runway used for arrivals. I see that runway 27 has also opened up. Let's see if we can do an update of runway usage and perhaps also a METAR after the next airplane has landed. This is Delta Airlines flight 162 arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. A330-300, 7 hours and 19 minutes underway, 20 years old, first flight October 2003. Chris Coot is vying for attention, but he's doing that behind me, so I'm wondering if you guys pick up on that with the mic. Anyway, the next two airplanes after this Delta are an Embraer 190 arriving from Manchester and a 787-10 Dreamliner arriving from Las Vegas. Oh, nicely done. This is a triple D landing. Delta, don't disappoint. Now, due to the separation necessary for the Embraer, we have a little gap. Let's quickly dive behind the laptop, have a quick look. Is there a new METAR? No, this is still the same. Probably a new METAR will be published in a few minutes. Okay, runway usage, interesting. Because flight radar does seem to indicate that runway 27 is now open. In the meantime, flying over Northern Ireland, the PHBVA Orange Pride. Flying over Austria, we have a Saudia 747 flying over Croatia. Yeah, Croatia. Cathay Pacific 7478. And the Emirates A380, still expected around just after 1 o'clock, is also approaching. Well, I'm not sure if runway usage is correct. You guys saw just now that the website of LVNL, which is Dutch Air Traffic Control, indicated that all north-south runways are in use. Flight radar is showing us that runway 27 is being used. Now, are they also taking off from 18 left is what I'm wondering. Or are they merely taking off from runway 18 center? That is the question. Come back in 5, then we will also have an update of the METAR most likely. See what the wind has been doing. The latest METAR says 18 knot wind with gusts up to 28. No wavy wave from the first officer. Delta A350 has taken off from center. And Niels, you were wondering what can we see from over here? Well, you have to really use digital zoom on top of optical zoom to see the airplanes, but you can follow them, absolutely. This is Delta Airlines Flight 73 outbound to Atlanta, Georgia. But let us quickly turn back because arriving from Las Vegas is a 787-10 Dreamliner. KLM Flight 636. This airplane is 4 years old. First flight October 2019. Up next, Iberia Express arriving from Madrid. A320, 2 hours and 10 minutes underway. While you guys are watching it crab over here, let me behind the scenes see if runway usage, runway usage has been updated. 2 runways inbound, 2 runways outbound. The meter hasn't updated yet. So in addition to the runways that were already listed in the meter, now also for arrivals runway 27 is used. So all the runways not being closed down for maintenance are now open. So the ticker, at least in that respect, has been updated now. Curious about the wind. So far it has been increasing, and that's what you typically see during the day. Now, what is a bit dangerous is that the wind also has turned a bit more westerly, and if that is also a trend that is continuing together with the wind speed increasing, you will see that sooner or later this runway is going to close because the crosswind will become too severe. Initially the wind was it was south-southwest, now it is more southwest, and if it turns further to the west, we do run the risk of runway closure. And let's see, we do have a new meter now, so let me quickly, well, no, let's wait. First, let's have a look at the Dreamliner that is now approaching. This is TUI flight 356 arriving from Curaçao, Willemstad. Curaçao, the sea in ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, Curaçao. Parts of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, lying off the coast of Venezuela in the Caribbean Sea. This 7878 Dreamliner is 9 years old and had its first flight in November 2014. Another tractor. Passes me by and also slows down a little bit because of pedestrians. No? Okay. It's reversing. Reversing into the field. Alright. And going back. Must have forgotten something. And there you go, departures from runway center. This is what you can see from over here. It's not a whole lot. Where's that left? Might be left. Right. Another narrow body, which means a bit of separation, which means a bit of time. Let's have a look at the latest meter. You can see the wind is blowing from the west, southwest, varying between west and south-southwest. It is 16 knots. Okay, that is good. So the crosswind component does not become too severe, or at least not yet. The wind is varying between 210 degrees and 270 degrees, as is indicated over here. CAV okay, meaning ceiling and visibility are okay, lower 5,000 feet, no significant clouds, visibility is 10 plus kilometers, and the air temperature is 17 degrees Celsius. 2 times 17, 34, 34 plus 30, roughly 64 degrees Fahrenheit. Pasting the meter into the ticker. There you go. Hey there Jinshin, hey there Lisa, good morning to you both. Hope all is well. And all other viewers who might have joined in the meantime, you are watching AMS Live. Crosswindy arrivals. Arriving from London Heathrow, BA flight 436. And Embraer 190 arriving from Brussels behind it. This is the One World special livery, obviously. And Brandon, yes, Afrikaans and Dutch are very similar, so I think Dutchies will understand when you write in Afrikaans. Up next, Embraer 190 KLM Flight 1704 arriving from Brussels, a mere 32 minutes underway. And next up is an E2 Embraer arriving from Oslo, KLM Flight 1198. Mrs. Professor is asking an interesting question. Is there an official wind limit that will close this runway? I don't know for sure, to be honest. Some airplanes have lower crosswind limits, others have higher. I think, as you see right now with runway 27 also open, I'm sure there must be a crosswind component limit at which they say we'll close the runway, but I think they also often leave it to the pilot's discretion what runway they want to land on. If they want to give it a go on Polderbaan, or if they say, well, for our airplane this is too much crosswind, we would like to land on runway 27, or if it's not a super or a queen and runway 22 is also open, the short Schiphol Oostbaan, that is also an option. The downside of the approach to runway 22 is that it goes straight over the city of Amsterdam. So the heavier the airplane, the more complaints about noise Schiphol will get. But if I'm sure that there probably is a hard limit, but I don't know what the limit is. Hadi Johanna. Goedemorgen. Hey Ricardo, goedemorgen. Right, well, is that the only airplane for the time being? Seems to be. There is more coming. There's an Embraer 190 arriving from Norwich that is now turning final. Very nicely done. And an idle reverser landing. No, not an idle, no reverser landing. Those slots remain closed. And a heavy just taken off from center, Delta A330, unmistakably. That's a good question, Niels. Is a heavier airplane in the advantage during windy conditions like this or not? Well, I think they are, because they are more massive, more resistant to wind, you would say, but then again you would also say it has more surface area which the wind can affect. So I don't know what the answer is. It's a very good question. QJ asks, what do you think about the approach to 27 and diverting to 24? Yeah, that's something that you see freighters do often when it is windy and they approach runway 27 and then make a last minute left hand turn, land on runway 24. Well, not now, because runway 24 is still closed for major maintenance until at least until the 25th. And I'm curious if it won't get delayed, but yeah, why not? I mean, it's a bit of a flying equivalent of the KLM landing that you see over here. Keep up the speed, vacate late sooner to the gate. Well, if you are a heavy and your ramp, you need to park right next to runway 24. why not? If you're standing next to the McDonald's, it does look, well, spectacular is maybe a bit too much, but it is very nice to see. You don't see it every day. Now Adrian is warning, if you hear an F-16, they are flying along the coast. Well, thanks for the heads up. Not hearing anything just yet. Now, a lot of the inbound traffic is going to runway 27 at the moment. However, there is another airplane coming by the looks of it, or is it continuing? That is the question. What's its altitude? Well, no, it's already at less than 2,500 feet, so the next airplane after this, albeit with a few minutes of separation, is going to be a 777-300ER arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao, a KLM flight. Still no wave. Hey, there's a quad contrail passing by. Is that an A380? I think looking at the wings it is. Could be. A bit hard to see due to the high clouds in between. Should become visible better in a few moments as it moves away from the sun. Should give more contrast. Where's the 747? Really hard for me to make out here in the field. Have to hold my hand over my screen, otherwise the sun is only giving me reflections. Hard to see. Unfortunately, too milky for me to see properly out in the field. You guys probably saw it better. 747 Frankfurt to Houston. Right, thank you guys so much, Lufti. Going to Houston. KLM flight 736 is what we are looking at. 777-300ER. Somewhere in the background there's also a 737-800 on the glide slope, arriving from Edinburgh. Hard to see. Well, if you guys are liking what you're seeing, don't forget to drop a like. It really helps to spread this content to other aviation enthusiasts such as yourselves who might also be interested in content like this. If you want to stay updated of upcoming live streams, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. A third airplane is approaching from the north. An A320 Neo arriving from London Luton. Embraer 175 arriving from Nice, also coming. Still flying downwind. Good morning Veerle and good morning to Travis. The tractor is once again coming this way. More manure. Alrighty, the next airplane to arrive is KLM flight 924, arrival from Edinburgh, 737-800. 4-year-old airplane, first flight December 2019. At the moment, a few strong gusts here. Last meter I checked, the wind had subsided to 16 knots and no more gusts were mentioned. Before that it was 18 knots with gusts to 28. I'm wondering if the wind is picking up again. And good morning to Pro Styler, who is tuning in from Cairns in Australia. Well, good evening I should say then probably. Alrighty, A320 Neo approaching from London Luton, Embraer 175 behind it, arriving from Nice. What time is it? It is 11:19. Means that in 5 or so minutes from now a new METAR gets released. Third airplane visible at 7 o'clock, now almost level with the number one, far left. E2 Embraer arriving from Glasgow. This is EasyJet flight 22515 arriving from London Luton, A320 Neo, 5 years old, first flight December 2018. Hadi Anja, goedemorgen. And all other viewers who might have joined in the meantime, you are watching AMS Live. It is quite windy today. Wind is blowing from the southwest, which means crabbing airplanes. We haven't seen any going rounds yet. We did see a couple of landings that looked like they might have gone around, but eventually landed smoothly. Our next airplane is arriving from Nice, which is nice. KLM flight 1474, Embraer 175. 2 airplanes visible, and they are an E2 Embraer arriving from Glasgow and an A737 arriving from Paris. And let's see, there is a 3rd airplane arriving from Bristol, an Embraer 175, should be somewhere behind it. Now typically that would be a bit lower than the number 2, but not seeing it just yet. K1 has a front row seat over there, the bird control vehicle. KLM flight 936 up next. Evidence says China Airlines A320 about to depart from center. Right, well, it should nice. I think I can hear it spool up. Definitely hearing something spooling up. Right, and also Qatar 777 freighter with a special livery. Well, I don't expect to see the special livery from over here. Not even my camera can zoom in that closely. But it should nicely coincide with the rollout of this airplane, which is arriving from Paris, Charles de Gaulle, 737-800, KLM flight 1406. Alrighty. Next up is KLM flight 1076 arriving from Bristol, Embraer 175, 47 minutes on the way. Transavia 737-800 in the background behind it, arriving from Barcelona. Seems that a lot of the traffic is going to runway 27. Is it just traffic arriving from the east? I think it is. I think it is still. This runway still services everything arriving from the west. Is 11:26, so around this time a new meter should be published. Usually takes 5 to 10 minutes before the website where I get the meter information from is updated, so we'll have another look by then. And expected around noon, so in half an hour from now is the KLM Orange Pride PHBVA 777-300ER. Right. We seem to have had a spammer. I've now removed him or her. Begs the question, I thought we had a few moderators, but are we in short supply of moderators? Don't get the impression that the chat is that busy, but if we are understaffed, let me know. Our next airplane, Transavia, flight 5132. Having landed safely. Hey, Mr. Master, what the fuck?
What the hell?
What the fuck, mate?
Waar is ie?
Ja, goed, hoe is het met jou?
Ja, lekker joh. Lekker.
Ik dacht dat je zei dat je zaterdag misschien zou komen.
Ja, dat was wel heel duidelijk.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Master.
Back in the house.
Back in the house, and unexpectedly, because I really thought he was going to come on Saturday. Ja, we hebben de hele boel voor onszelf hier. All alone, almost.
Onze plaats ook.
Ik hoop dat de baan open blijft. Ik zal zo meteen eens even kijken naar de nieuwe meter.
Ja, de McDonald's is hier ook open.
Ja, precies. Als de crosswind te groot wordt, dan is het einde oefening. Right. Stuur me even een tikje voor de koffie. Die is van mij.
Is goed. Benzine ook?
Zei je?
Benzine ook?
Benzine niet, nee. Nee, daar moet het kanaal nog wat meer voor groeien. Right, KLM flight 1174, Embraer 175 arriving from Stavanger. 6 years old, first flight June 2017. Mensen in de chat zeggen hoi. Hoi terug. Moet je microfoon of niet?
Als de koffie op hebt dan...
Wat zeg je?
Als de koffie op is dan...
Als de koffie op is, prima. Right, let's see. Embraer 190 arriving from Dublin, and after that we have nothing. There's an Embraer 190 arriving from Newcastle. The question is, will it land on this runway or have they opted to close the runway? It is still at 4,000 feet and descending. Is anybody looking on omgevingsinfo Schiphol to see where the Embraer 190 and the triple behind it arriving from Panama City, to what runways these have been assigned? Nice one. Not gentle, but effective. All going to Polderbaan? Okay. Thanks, Evelyn. That's my biggest fear right now, is that the crosswind component becomes too severe and they're going to forward everything to the runway that is now also open for arrivals runway 27. Let's have a quick look, see if the meter is already updated. And yeah, from 7 minutes ago, wind is now 19 knots, 240 degrees. No mention of gusts, still CAV okay. Right. Runway usage now looks like this. And the PHBVA is on its way. Well, with runway 27 open, that doesn't bode well for the 747s and the A380, has to be said. Not sure about and what is Bezoek Bus saying about expected runway usage? Oh, wait, what is happening? No. Why am I not able to go back to the main scene? Right. Let's see. In the meantime, our next airplane is arriving. It is KLM Flight 954, Embraer 190, arrival from Newcastle. Somewhere further north, flying base still, is KLM Flight 758, 777-300ER, arrival from Panama City. Jij ziet hem?
Ja.
Oh ja, is already visible. Coming this way. So we now have a 19 knot crosswind. And luckily the runway is still open. Also a big thank you to Paul for gifting 5 memberships just now. If you are one of the recipients, don't forget to say thank you to Paul. Paul, thank you so much for your generosity. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those new members. And up next is KLM Flight 954. Arrival from Newcastle, Embraer 190, 15 years old, first flight April 2009. The next airplane arriving is KLM Flight 758, arriving from Panama City. It's a 777-300ER. There's another 777-300ER behind it, arriving from Vancouver, Canada. Should become visible somewhere from the left in a moment. KLM Flight 682 now turning final. It's double triple time, 2 consecutive 777-300s from KLM. The first one arriving from Panama City, the second one arriving from Vancouver, Canada. Alan has to go. Cheers Alan for joining. See you on the next one. And enjoy the rest of your day, mate.
Is het een beetje warm?
Lukewarm. Lukewarm cappuccino. Perfect on a day like this. There it is, double triple time. Now, World to Fly A350 arrival from Madrid is also coming this way, and that is a regular World to Fly. That is not one with small Corendon letters on it. Arriving from Madrid. Air Malta also coming. Embraer 175. It's getting busy. Probably the third airplane approaching from the right, if we are able to see it, is an Embraer 175 arrival from Hanover, KLM flight 1788. First up, KLM flight 758 arriving from Panama City, 777-300ER. Very nice. Captain really senior, yeah. Alrighty. Next up, KLM flight 682, arriving from Vancouver, Canada. 8 hours and 25 minutes underway, another 777-300ER, the PHBVI. This one is 11 years old. Its first flight was in June 2012. And QJ says that the World to Fly airplane that is arriving is the one that had Corendon written on it. Okay, so not a completely unfamiliar airplane then for us. One we have seen before. Hey, K1 is going places. Evelyn is informing us that the orange pride is coming to the polderbaan. Well, that is good news indeed. Hopefully it is going to stay open. Our next airplane with a bit of separation because it is a narrow body following a heavy, so has to stay at a distance due to the wake turbulence, is an Embraer 175 arriving from Hanover, KLM flight 1788, and the A350 should be behind it. Let's see. Ik heb hem net aangezet, ja.
Check, check.
Check, check. Rick Meester also in the house.
Hello, hello people.
Right, well.
Doet die link het trouwens ook? Die je me toen had gestuurd?
Wat zei je?
Doet die link het ook, die je me toen had gestuurd?
Nee, dat was van, dat was van de vorige stream.
Ja, oké.
Let me see. Let me see if I can send you that. If all goes well, that should give you the chat window without the video.
Dat ziet er even anders uit.
Yeah, welcome to my world.
Wow.
You can enlarge it a little bit.
Yeah.
Be sure to also select live chat and not top chat, otherwise you might not see all the messages.
Well, hello everybody, what's up? Back in the house again. Well, not really a house, but in a meadow.
Yeah, and we have the Polderbaan almost completely to ourselves.
Yeah.
Really busy. Quiet over here. Right. KLM Flight 1788 has just landed. Up next is the World to Fly A350 that used to also have the Corendon letters on it. At least that's what QJ says just now. Arriving from Madrid instead of Curaçao.
Hey there, Paul. What's up? Hope all is well.
World to Fly.
Goedemorgen Marja.
A350-900 arriving from Madrid, 2 hours and a minute on the way. Brand new airplane, first flight May 2023, and another tractor full of shit.
Literally.
Passing us by. They're so full of it.
AMS shit live.
Indeed.
Hey there, Evelyn. All is well.
Right, also visible on the glide slope is Air Malta. I'm just going to call it the way it used to be called. KM Malta Airlines or something is what it officially is called, but the livery is the same, so I just keep calling it the same. Air Malta arriving from Malta, A320, and an Embraer 190 arriving from Humberside is also coming this way by the looks of it. First up, the A350. Nice.
Very nice.
Not too bad. Reversers as well. Although I'm not sure how well you guys can hear that. Oh wait, it
Corendon.
still has Corendon on it. What the F? Interesting. Butt shot in the making, A350 butt shot in the making. And Rob says, put a, whatchamacallit, knijper.
Knijper.
Put it on your nose against the smell, but luckily the shit unloading takes place downwind, so the shit stink isn't being blown our way.
Nope, we're safe.
Right, let's see. Air Malta A320 on the glide slope, and turning onto the glide slope is an Embraer 190 from KLM arriving from Humberside.
I think I accidentally just gave Evelyn a timeout.
I see. Well, messages deleted.
Oh,
it
okay.
says. I'm
Sorry,
not sure if she has a timeout now.
Nothing personal. I just pushed the wrong button.
That's what I would say as well. That's what I would say as well. That excuse is so obvious, we can see right through it.
Yeah, okay. Well, this is one special livery.
Yeah, it's the best of them all.
Yeah.
Might
Wow.
get this is thumbnail material.
Oh yeah.
Well, Air Malta. Maltese butt shot, question mark? I think so. Looks like it. Right. Let's see.
Well, I think it is better for me to just turn on the stream again, because otherwise I will delete some more messages and give other users a timeout as well.
You can magnify the text so that you can press on the right item in the menu. Before you start assigning moderatorship to people that may not be the best moderators. Yorkshire Biker, no more moderator.
Yeah.
Evelyn,
Balls out.
permanently banned. One stream with Rick Meester and all hell breaks loose. Right. Embraer 190s approaching. A triplet of Embraer 190s from KLM is coming our way. The first one is from Eastern Airways. It's one of their rentals arriving from Humberside. The second one is arriving from Cardiff. And the second one is arriving from London City. Now, can we also see the third one? That should approach the glide slope from the left somewhere. Probably lower left side. All right, upper third on the left hand side. 3 consecutive Embraer 190s. If you are a fan of the Embraer 190, this is your moment.
It's my favorite plane.
Tayyab is tuning in from Dubai. Good afternoon, Tayyab. And Ewald, good morning. Right, flying for KLM, arriving from Humberside. This Embraer 190 long range, 15 years old, first flight January 2009. Is a Britty hopper, as Frank coined the term last weekend so nicely. Evelyn is back.
Welcome back, Evelyn.
What do you say then, Rick?
I am so sorry.
Oh. It's fat finger syndrome. That's what we call it.
Yeah, fat fingers, and you know, I'm also getting old, so
yeah, progressing age.
yeah,
Older and wiser and more clumsy.
it's a lethal combination.
Right. Well, it's 11:52, so we are expecting another update of the meter in a couple of minutes. By the time it gets published on the meter website, will be 5 to 10 minutes from now. Meanwhile, in the background, A Delta A330 has queued up, now number 3 to land, arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota, again. That's the second or third or fourth that we've seen. Nice. First officer too busy with doing what first officers do. No wave. Right, the third of 3 Embraer 190s, and after that it is back to the A330 from Delta. Oh, back-to-back A330s. The now number 3 is also a Delta A330. Should approach from the left in a moment. Arriving from Detroit, Michigan, Delta Airlines flight 136. And there's also a 777-300ER arriving from LAX that is flying base. And there's the second A330 at 7 o'clock of the first A330. Right, so the last narrow body appetizer before this back to consecutive heavies. Oh. One look on the chat and my camera immediately takes a nosedive. That's a nice one, Paul. That's got to be a suggestion for the next emoji, noise.
It reminds me of Modern Family, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I don't know. Have you watched Modern Family?
Well, only fragments of it. I wasn't a regular viewer, so to speak.
All right.
I have seen fragments of it.
There's one episode where Claire says noise, and it's when she, she's acting like a cougar. And, but you have to see it. You have to watch it first, because
I always have to think of Anslo from Keeping Up Appearances. Oh, nice.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I think that's where I probably got it from. Remembering that from childhood.
Yeah. Onslow.
Right.
Oh,
so now the Heavies Fest has begun, ladies and gentlemen. We have 3 on the glide slope, 1 flying base. 2 consecutive Delta Airlines A330s. The first one arriving from Minneapolis, the second one arriving from Detroit, Michigan. After that, it is going to be a 777-300ER arriving from LAX. That is the BVA Orange Pride, ladies and gentlemen. And after that, an A330 from KLM arriving from Bonaire.
Nice.
Well, we get the reversers.
Bring on the noise.
Sadly, not. Also no butt shot. Well, in that case, let us return.
Not interesting anymore.
Look at the glide slope.
Travis is saying that's Army was funny too. Yeah, that's Army. That's
Army. Yeah.
Yeah.
Captain Mannering or something.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah. He also had that show in that store with Captain Peacock. What was that called again?
Is it Are You Being Served?
Yeah, Are You Being Served?
Haven't seen it actually.
Mr. Humphreys and Captain Peacock, and Right, 3 airplanes on the glide slope, 3 heavies. The PHBVA Orange Pride crabbing its way over here, now number 2. A330 number 3, A330 number 1. The first airplane to arrive, Delta Airlines Flight 136, arriving from Detroit, Michigan. Looks like it is going to pass left of us. This airplane is 7 years old. The first flight was in June 2016. Nice. Oh, come on, mates. Use those reversers.
Not our day.
You're not KLM, you know. Mrs. Slocum, indeed. Thank you, Maria. With her pussycat or something. Oh no, it was not her pussycat, her pussy. Rick is looking at me. He obviously never saw that.
Yeah. You guessed that right.
He never saw that series.
Thank you so much, Hans.
And thank you, Hans, for a gifted membership. Drew, welcome to the club, mate. You just got gifted a membership. Be sure to use those orange pride emojis now, ladies and gentlemen. The PHBVA up next. Hey there, Barbs. Good morning. And good morning to everybody else who has joined us in the meantime. If you are just joining us, I'm co-hosted by Rick Meester, our moderator, who snuck up on me by surprise, unexpectedly. And it's a windy day at Schiphol Airport. Over here we have the Orange Pride arriving from LAX.
Haven't seen this one in the flesh yet.
Really?
Yeah. Well, only on the stream.
Now I feel the urge to brush my teeth.
Yeah.
Throw that smile.
Still not sure if I like this one better than the previous livery, but
Really?
yeah,
For me, it's a no-brainer. I like the gradient better. I mean, this also has something, but
Yeah.
there's already a tricolor 100 years 78710. Enough with
Yeah,
the
true,
red, white, and blue. I like the gradient better. Alrighty, well. Let's see. Only 2 airplanes right now visible. A330. Where is that Air Canada Dreamliner? Oh wait. There was a triplet all along. Right in the foreground we have KLM Flight 765 arriving from Bonaire. A330-300. Behind it is a 737-800 arriving from London Heathrow, and the number 3 is Air Canada Flight 808 arriving from Toronto. That is a 7878 Dreamliner. There's also a Chinese triple coming this way, flying overhead in a few moments on its way to Shanghai.
oh yeah, I think it is right behind us right now.
Yeah.
And Mark Ahrens is asking, boy, how does it feel to be a celebrity right now?
Are you referring to the interview that was on TV yesterday evening? Well, it feels the same as before. no,
shot?
no, no. No, you are a tall mofo, but you're not that tall. Right. Let us quickly turn back.
And Mark has to go. Thank you, Mark, for joining.
Hey, thanks for joining, Mark. See you on the next one. Don't get blown away.
Yeah.
Next up, KLM flight 1004 arriving from London Heathrow. 737-800, Air Canada Dreamliner behind it, and a Transavia 737-800 behind it. Hey, QJ is saying that the Saudia is going to Polder. That is good news, because that probably means that runway 27 is going to close for arrivals, and once again Polderbaan becomes the only runway. That like also bodes well for the two 747s that are also approaching from the east.
And hopefully the A380.
I'm not too sure about that, because it is expected around 1 p.m. and they usually go to a different runway configuration between 1 and 2 o'clock. So I am I'm cautiously optimistic, but I don't dare to speak it out too loud so that I don't jinx it. Meanwhile, K1 is holding short over here. And more tractors.
Oh, F9 has to go.
Shitstorm.
She has to go to school for a lesson of geography. Well,
geography. Well, as my geography teacher in middle school always used to say, vraag niet hoe het kan, maar profiteer ervan. Don't ask how, but just profit because of it. Well, there's nothing to profit from if you have to go, but it is a nice quote though.
Yeah, true.
Let's see, it's now 5 minutes past 12. Yeah, no, let's wait until the Dreamliner has landed and then let's go back to the computer to do an update of the METAR.
And Sebastian is confirming that 27 is closed, so that's good news.
And 18 left and center probably open for departures? Question mark?
Well, it was. Yeah, it is.
Well, in that case, we'll do a complete update of the entire ticker in a moment. I think we should have some time for that after this airplane has landed. Transavia 737 after it, so a bit of separation. This is Air Canada flight 808, arriving from Toronto, Canada. Now, this is one of those days where Flight Radar already quickly removes the flight time when I have it split screen. So I don't see the flight time anymore. But I do know that this airplane is 9 years old and that K1 is in the way.
Ooh. Bit of a rough landing.
Yeah, but at least it landed safely.
True.
Come on, reversers.
Could use some cleaning actually.
Sorry?
It could use a little bit of cleaning.
Well, the flaps seem to be quite neat and
yeah,
clean.
It was the front of the plane around the cockpit which was really dirty.
They only did a half job. Well, let me quickly go dive behind the laptop. Let's have a look. First of all, 747s are already in Dutch airspace. The Saudia has already been assigned to Polderbaan. Let's hope that Cathay also gets assigned the same runway. Runway usage. Back to the triple north-south oriented runway configuration with the Polderbaan, and this is where we are standing, now the only runway in use for arrivals. An update of the ticker show, the METAR shows 16 knots of wind, still in the same direction. No gusts being mentioned, and we now have few clouds at 2,200 feet. The air temperature is 17 degrees Celsius. 17 times 2, 34 plus 30 equals 64 degrees Fahrenheit approximately. Runway usage I will change in a moment. Arriving from Napoli, Transavia flight 6410, 737-800. Now typically what you will see is that around 1 o'clock the runway usage changes again. I'm hoping that is not going to be the case, because then the A380 is also going to come this way. So in the upcoming hour expected are 2 747s, one 747-400 and one 7478, plus the A380. The A380 is expected around 1 o'clock. In the meantime, let's have a look and see what is on the glide slope. Embraer 190 up first, KLM flight 1774 arriving from Berlin. The airplane behind it is a Delta A330 Neo arriving from Seattle, Washington. Birds are still chirping, the airplanes are still crabbing. The sun is still behind a layer of milkiness high in the sky, sadly. And this is Choc-y, our high carb special friend. Bonbons. Chocolate cake, yummy.
Nice.
Yummy, yummy, yummy. Want some in my tummy.
And thank you so much, Roadhog, for the gifted 5 memberships.
Absolutely, Roadhog just now gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much for that, Roadhog. Very generous of you. If you are one of the recipients, don't forget to thank Roadhog for your gifted membership, and be sure to spam us to death with all the custom emojis that are now at your disposal. Roadhog, once again, thank you so much. This is Delta Airlines flight 144 arriving from Seattle, Washington. Again, already too late with the flight time, probably around 8 hours or so. A330 Neo, 4 years old, first flight September 2019. And still not a single go around today.
Well, this one was pretty interesting.
Yeah, made an interesting bounce. Also not really loud in terms of reverser usage. Bit disappointing.
I think we have to wait for the 747.
Well, there is still a teensy tiny little Embraer coming this way. Or are that 2? Yeah, that's 2. More Embraer 190s. The first one arriving from Leeds, the second one arriving from Stuttgart. And another shitty tractor coming this way.
Another shitload of crap.
Absolutely. And the male tractor, because it was blue, we've established that female tractors are not blue, male tractors are blue.
Female tractors are pink?
Sorry?
Female tractors are pink?
Female tractors are pink, absolutely, absolutely. Maria is confirming that the 7478 has also been assigned to Polderbaan. Big question is, will the A380 also land on Polderbaan? Was expected around noon, around 1 o'clock, and that is usually the time frame or the time that they switch it up again. I'm thinking if they are going to switch it up, they are going to open up center for arrivals, but that would be a good thing because at least for when it lands on center we can still see the A380 from over here. But let's hope that today is going to be our lucky day and the A380 is going to land.
Well, come on, I'm here, so it has to be our lucky day.
Now it has to land on Polderbaan. And the 747 already, the first of two in the background, approaching the glide slope.
And Austrian Wolf is asking if we have seen the A340 taking off at Zurich with a tailwind gust. Well, actually, yeah, I have.
I haven't.
Well, you should. That was really interesting. It was taking off and then it was, well, almost touching the runway again.
Oh, really? Not a butt shot, but a butt slide.
Yeah, almost. The
Saudia 747 in the background coming this way. Tractors galore here. That is a female tractor. Not pink,
yeah,
but
well,
red.
Yeah.
It's not blue. It's simple.
Okay, so
if it's blue, it's a male tractor.
Yeah,
if it isn't,
if it's not blue, it's female. Okay, got it.
Just some patterns in nature that you pick up if you stand here frequently and long enough. Right. Even a little wheelie, why not? Why not? And indeed a male plane because it is blue.
It is blue, yeah.
Blue body, ba ba ba.
Jackie, you might want to check out luchtvaartnieuws.nl or upinthesky.nl. There you can find all kinds of news and videos about aviation.
Right, folks, the first of two queens, both of them having been assigned to the runway we are standing next to. This is Saudia Cargo, operated by Air Atlanta Europe. It's flight 933, arriving from Jeddah. 5 hours and 50 minutes underway, this one. The airplane is a millennial, 27 years old. Its first flight was in November 1996. Not a dancing queen, but a crabbing queen. We can already see another airplane approaching the glide slope in the background. Or are that two? I think two. Let's see. Shamrock 604 arriving from Dublin and an Embraer 190 arriving from Bergen, that would be. And we have another Chinese triple also coming this way.
Oh, there it is.
I think it's still over there.
Oh, it's there? Oh.
Nah, sort of flight radar.
Ah, that's not fair.
Making a turn. Righty, whoa. The first of two queens. The king is also still coming. Let's have a look. Bring her a bit closer. additional digital zoom. It's coming! Let's get loud!
Yeah, that's more like it.
No!
No.
Not already. Captain let down. It's like they realized, oh shit, we made a mistake. We shouldn't be pulling this lever. Let's put it back.
Damn it.
Right, let's see. Behind this airplane is an A320, EasyJet. No, Shamrock, Aer Lingus. Which means we have a moment to continue looking at how the flaps will retract. Second thoughts, did I or did I not update the ticker with respect to runway usage, but I have. Now there's also a BizJet from NetJets arrived from Frankfurt that is flying somewhere over there.
BizJet, it might be Max.
Cessna Citation Latitude.
Yeah.
I don't think that Max
small.
is.
Yeah.
Max. That's too small for our Max.
Yeah.
The question is, can I see it? Show you guys. It's always needle in the haystack work. Not seeing it, so let me just continue turning the camera back to the north. Watch the next airplane land. Still the old standard livery. Aer Lingus, Shamrock, flight 604, arriving from Dublin. Flight time roughly an hour. The airplane is 16 years old. Its first flight was in June 2007. I actually started watching some old Formula 1 videos on YouTube lately.
Oh really?
I came into one of those.
Why?
Well, I don't know. There was something with Formula 1 going on, so it was in my recommended list, and then I saw videos from the Schumacher days with the V10s. That sound, second to none. That is the best era. Yeah. I think I would consider watching Formula 1 again if they brought back those V10s. I don't care if they're 10 seconds slower per lap than the current engines, but V10s going up to 20,000 RPM.
It was a great time.
Happy to be able to have seen that on TV live and not have to watch on YouTube to see clips of those days. Our next airplane is KLM flight 1164. It's number 190 arriving from Bergen. And what is that airplane doing? Is that inbound or outbound? I think it might be inbound. Airplane passing overhead. Or is that outbound? No, it's too quiet to be outbound. Where is it?
Let's see.
It's probably going to make a left-hand turn to fly to the north on the downwind leg, then enter the glide slope from the east. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's going to Bergen, I think.
Is it outbound?
Yeah, it's
oh,
outbound.
Wow. Okay.
No.
What a mistake at
What a
Jamaica.
mistake at Jamaica.
The beautiful lady, I can see your hand. Righty, up next, Hans' favorite airplane, favorite livery I should say, it's Vueling.
Is it like Vueling or Vueling?
Vueling. I think, I'm not sure. I think you might pronounce it with more an H.
Yeah, I don't know.
Vueling.
Do we have some Spanish viewers at the moment?
We need a Spanish native speaker to tell us how to pronounce Vueling properly. Their livery is already imperfect. We don't want to pronounce the name imperfectly as well. Arriving from Barcelona. Or is it Barcelona?
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Sí.
Sí, señor. Now I'm reminded of that song. Sí, señor. Efectos especiales.
Ah, Miranda.
Bailando. Amigos, adiós. Vueling with a B.
Ah, okay.
Jose Antonio tuning in. Arnoud also, thank you. Vueling.
And Molly17 is informing us that it is Barcelona in Catalan.
Barcelona. But that is in Catalan. Oh right, wow. Now.
Oh, there.
There is an airplane. I also had to look. I saw one on Flight Radar. I thought, where is it?
I was afraid that was it.
Nah. It's one of those moments where it's a bit calmer, but there is another airplane coming. This is Transavia, arriving from Valencia. Or is it Valencia?
Well, yeah.
Transavia flight 6336 up first, and an Airbus A320 from Air Arabia Morocco, arriving from Nador, is flying base. Where is that 7478? That is now flying northeast of Purmerend, which means that if you know where to look, and last time I was here I established that Purmerend is just behind the two chimneys. We should be able to see it pretty soon. Visibility is good. The Cathay Pacific Cargo 7478 arriving from Dubai.
And maybe if you are in a traffic jam at Purmerend at the moment,
if you look up, yeah,
then look up.
Now only vaguely discernible by the landing lights already on. The A320 has just turned onto the glide slope. Right. Are you seeing the 747 already, Dick?
Nope.
Not yet.
Not yet.
All eyes. You need glasses?
I need glasses. Give me yours.
Now, in the meantime, Donald and Daisy are also doing some morning cardio over here.
And here we have some contrail right above us.
Oh yeah, twin jet flying from east to west, north of us. Let's see if we can make out some details.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell what it is.
Looks like an Emirates triple.
Ding ding ding. Yeah. You are right. Can you tell where it is going?
Manchester?
Well, almost. Newcastle.
Newcastle. Ding ding ding, Newcastle calling. Michael, this one's for you. Alrighty. Well, that 747 should be visible somewhere in the distance right now. Oh yeah, I have it. Above the windmills. The group of windmills.
Oh yeah, I can see it as well.
Yeah. Cathay Pacific Cargo B748, gear already extended. As you guys can see, it is turning final. No, is it turning onto the glide slope off center?
Oh no.
It was assigned to this runway, wasn't it? It looked like it was turning and it was continuing its turn, but if all is well, it should be going to this runway. Just deceptive appearances. Right, Air Arabia Morocco, arriving from Nador in Morocco, A320.
A bit bouncy.
Tippy-toppy, nice and gentle. I'm sure if you are a passenger on board this airplane, it would have been a very smooth landing and you wouldn't have known that there was so much wind blowing right now.
Well, it's a good thing that the wind is not really gusty. It's more like a steady,
Constant
wind
flow.
Yeah.
Looking up ahead on the scale of chimney smoke, still looks the same. The smoke is leaving the chimneys nearly horizontally and has been doing that all the while now. The second queen is coming, and where is the A380? It is, oh, it's still half an hour out, so still in Dutch airspace, so omgevingsinfo Schiphol will not tell us already where it's going to land, sadly.
Fingers crossed.
Hey, Infinity is also in the chat. Absolutely, Rick Meester is here.
Yeah. Back again.
He came by surprise. I thought he was going to maybe visit tomorrow, but
No.
he scared me shitless. Boo!
Boy was almost swimming actually.
I almost fell in the water. Well, my utility cart almost drove into the water. I forgot to put the brakes on the front wheels, and I was behind my laptop doing some updates, and I heard something behind me, and I was looking, and I thought, shit, immediately reached to it to prevent it from going down the hill into the water.
Would have been a good excuse to cross the canal actually.
I'm also seeing QJ says that there's an Icelandair 767 coming this
nice.
way. That is terrific news. Now, arriving from Dubai, this is Cathay Pacific Cargo, flight 65. It's a 7478 freighter.
So get out
7
your
hours, 29 minutes underway.
emoticons.
Sorry?
Get out your cafe emoticons right now, people.
Cathay Pacific. The custom emoji. Yeah, not getting used very often these days.
Yeah. It's a long time ago actually that you said that. The cafe.
One of the first.
Yeah.
Alrighty. The airplane is 10 years old, first flight was in April 2013, and for some reason this airplane has been flying for 7.5 hours, which is an hour longer than the A380 normally takes to get from Dubai to here. Let's look and listen. That's that good shit. That was what we were hoping for. Nice. Indeed. Now, if you like shit like this, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're still in awaiting of the Emirates A380 that is expected in half an hour or just under half an hour from now, around 1 o'clock. If we're lucky, we're going to see it land on the same runway as the two 747s did just now. If we're unlucky, it is probably going to go to center, which is a runway that we can see quite well from over here. So not all is lost if that were the case, but obviously it would be better if it goes to the right runway in the first instance. I think that is Coast Guard. Yeah, that's the Dash 8 outbound. Going on patrol. And the windsock is erect, Viagra is in the air. You can say that this windsock has come from Bonaire.
Yeah. Yeah, you can say that, yeah.
Right, our next airplane is an Embraer 195, a regular one, not an E2, arriving from Warsaw, from Lot. We have a 3 airplane glide slope shot filled with narrow bodies. The number 2 is a 737 arriving from the Czech Republic, from Prague, and the 3rd airplane is an A320 arriving from London Gatwick. It's 12:36, so let me see if I can also do an update of the METAR after this airplane has landed. Lot flight 263 arriving from Warsaw. Embraer 195 long range, 16 years old, first flight January 2008. Hey, something special on the back, but it wasn't mentioned on flight radar. Visit North Moravia.
Yeah, why not?
Duly noted. What is that picture? Hard to see. Looked like a photo of sorts.
Squeaky wheels.
Right, let me quickly dive behind the laptop and have a look at the weather. Let's have a look, shall we? Refresh of the METAR page indicates the wind speed now 18 knots from 250 degrees. It was 240 degrees before, so a bit more westerly once again. 2,500 feet of fuel clouds at 2,500 feet. Otherwise, nothing has changed significantly. Runway usage also still the same. And the A380 between Kassel and Paderborn, approaching Dutch airspace. Let me paste that meter into the ticker after this airplane has landed. KLM flight 1354, 737-700, arriving from the Czech Republic from Prague. Lucas is definitely recommending visiting North Moravia. So if you are in doubt of where you want to go to, here's your answer. In the meantime, I'm quickly pasting that meter into the ticker for you guys. The latest weather update. 18 knots of wind from 250 degrees. And Donald is over here. He has ventured into AMS land on this side. There we go. Sitting in the grass on our side.
Doing some plane spotting.
Doing some plane spotting. I think he just got curious, that loud guy that always stands there. What is he seeing that I'm not seeing? So he thought, let's just give it a go. He looks sold, he looks enthusiastic.
Yeah, I think so too.
Before you know it, Daisy will also be sitting there and they'll be plane spotting together. And Huey, Dewey and Louie and Scrooge will also be joining. Right, we have Speedbird. Ah, Brody is in the house. What is up, Brody? Good to see you again, mate. We have a 737 arriving from Faro and two airplanes behind it. That is more 737s. KLM arriving from Milan, and the third airplane, Hans' favorite, Vueling, arriving from Alicante this time.
Some Benidorm bastards.
Benidorm bastards indeed. Not sure if everybody knows what that program is about. Wasn't it a Dutch program?
Yeah, it is.
Not in the international format, right?
Right.
I mean, Big Brother, people know, because that is, although originally a Dutch idea, has been franchised over the world. But Benidorm Bastards is, I think, a typical Dutch program.
It must be.
What was it again? It was...
I don't know, I actually didn't see it. I didn't watch it. I think
it was old people trying to, with hidden camera, trying to fool younger people.
Oh, yeah,
by on purposefully acting stupid or old. like old people. Tripping, falling. Oh, my mobile is out of control.
I broke my hip.
Come to think of it, it sounds a bit like what Jackass also did.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Wow.
Dressing up like old farts and then slapping each other in the face or whatever.
So Benidorm Jackass then?
Benidorm Jackass. Alrighty, 737 arriving from Milan, up first, KLM flight 1614. a big hand on a pivot. They attached it to next to a door opening, and then one of the guys was coming in with a tray of coffee or something, and the small guy used to say, "Hey, what up? High five!" And then he would raise his hand as if to initiate a high five, and then they would let go of the big hand that was spring-loaded, and that basically smacked him in the face so that he fell on the ground. So hilarious.
Classic.
Those guys were lunatics, but some of the things were just gross, but some were really funny.
Yeah.
Right, Vueling up next. Arriving from Alicante. Not Alibaba, but Alicante. More shit.
More shit.
More shit. I mean, yes, there it is. It's the yellow dots.
And Andy is saying, I love the Dutch accent in English. Well,
thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much, man.
Oh, quad jet coming this way from Frankfurt or Munich, probably. It's a pity about the cirrus clouds that are making it so hazy. Definitely a quad, but I think once it has passed us by, we can see it much better. In the meantime, also a 777 is arriving from Guayaquil, Ecuador, KLM flight 751, 777-200ER. It's the PHBQI, 19 years old, first flight November 2004. Are you also coming for co-hosting tomorrow, Rick?
Well,
as it happens.
If I do, it would be a surprise again.
Oh, absolutely. But less of a surprise than today.
Yeah, that's true.
I totally didn't expect you to arrive here today. I was thinking maybe you might come tomorrow, particularly since the weather is going to be so nice.
Well, I was hoping that it would be a bit more warm today as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that if you're not standing in a field where it's constantly blowing, like we are doing, and if you're standing somewhere where the wind isn't blowing, it is nice and warm right now. The meter has been saying it's been 17 degrees Celsius all along now.
Oh, really? Well,
it doesn't feel like that, huh? Does it?
I still have a runny nose. I have runny eyes as well because
Same
of
here.
the stupid wind.
Handkerchief.
well, thank you.
I came prepared. I know exactly what it's like. My nose has also been running. As a matter of fact, it's only the last half hour that I've put off my gloves, because I'm also one of those people that gets cold hands quite rapidly. Right.
Me too.
Hey. Up next, Icelandair in their old standard livery, the one that everybody loves better than their current standard livery, and it is a 767-300ER. Now, I already saw this morning on the arrivals list that the LATAM Cargo 767 was diverting to Brussels. So I think this is the only 767 that we are going to see today. This is the... what is it? TFISN, 23 years old, first flight August 2000. Let's look and listen. Please get loud.
Well.
No dice. No dice. squad that just passed us by. Lufty, that much I can tell. Probably a 747.
Oh,
I think a Lufty 747.
Almost.
Almost?
Yeah.
A380?
No.
A340 600.
No.
300?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, only took me 4 tries. Yeah, Joe Mellon is referring to the wind cup. Let me take it off. I already have one on, but when the wind is severe. This is already on, but when it is windy you need a blimp, which is exactly what I'm considering buying. But then I won't be able to put the mic on the camera anymore. I would have to put it on a separate tripod and just point it straight ahead, which the plus side is no more wind noise because a blimp really works well. The downside is you will not hear the airplanes that good when they approach and when they have passed you by, because the microphone is quite directional and only picks up what is right in front of it the best. I'm also looking at maybe a different microphone with a different polar pattern. Our next airplane to arrive is KLM flight 622, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. It's a 777-300 ER, 7 hours and 28 minutes underway. The airplane is 11 years old. First flight was in May 2012. Slope. I'm thinking the A380 should be in Dutch airspace by now. What runway has it been assigned to? Or has anybody mentioned it already and did I miss it? Oh shit, Evelyn says that the A380 has been assigned to runway 27, so that means we have to use telescope mode to see it land and can only see it vaguely.
I think I'm gonna ban Evelyn again for this news. I think I'm gonna ban her again for this news because this is really bad news.
Yeah. This is not good. Maybe a perma ban.
Yeah.
Well, Evelyn can still make it good if she can switch the runway assignment.
You only have one job.
Wow, what a beautiful livery.
Nice.
Best Norwegian ever.
No grumpy face on the tail.
No, nothing.
Nothing.
No, nothing. Just Norwegian.
Yeah.
Norwegian ran out of money when they ordered this airplane. No more money for a paint job.
Too bad.
We'll just take it with the Norwegian on it. Right, well, 737 approaching up first, and the airplane that has just turned onto the glide slope is Turkish Flight 1957 arriving from Istanbul, and that is an A330-300. Now the A330 has the potential to get loud, but Turkish on average also doesn't use the reversers that often. Delta, Aeromexico, Ryanair, those are the carriers of which the pilots often use the reversers. Lots of birds chirping. Scoot is grazing over here. Well, Evelyn, I have to say I am a bit disappointed in that you cannot change the runway assignment of the A380. I thought you had it in you, but yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I'm just a little bit disappointed now.
Yeah.
Rick too, so yeah. It's gonna be a sad weekend for us,
Sad
Rick.
weekend, yeah.
Sad weekend. Right, well, SLDKJH, if you have a look at the specs of the Sennheiser, you will know that there's also a knob with a low cut filter, high pass filter. I have already that enabled. I am using an ATEM mini switcher. If you look at its features, you can also change everything in the audio, in the software. Also there on every channel I already have high pass, low cut filters enabled. This is just the way it is. The microphone is very sensitive to wind. This is just a very windy day. You need a blimp if you want to mitigate the wind noise fully. Turkish Flight 1957 arriving from Istanbul. That's the condition. Nothing. They open the slots, but they don't apply the reverse thrust. Well, in that case, if the A380 is going to the wrong runway, we also need to have a look at where it is. Right, in between Zwolle and Deventer. I am going to do an effort to film its landing, even though that won't be very easy. Well, it's not going to be difficult, but you're not going to see a lot of details. That's the main point. It's an apartment building with wings, so you can see it quite clearly from over here. That's not the issue. Visibility is perfect. Won't be a problem to see it. Lucky us that is a mere standard livery issued today.
Nothing special?
Nothing special. Right, on the glide slope, Embraer 175 and an A320neo from EasyJet arriving from Palma de Mallorca as number 2. And another Vueling is coming as number 3, A320 arriving from Valencia. Top Air Portugal A319 seems to become number 4.
Grace Kelly has to go.
Sorry?
Grace Kelly has to go.
Grace Kelly has to go. Well, see you later, Grace. Enjoy the rest of your day and don't get blown away. This is going to runway 27. I think we should be able to pick them up already in that area, which is the Zuidas of Amsterdam. So I think this is where we need to look to see the A380 later. Right. In the meantime, EasyJet arriving first, Vueling arriving second. Back to runway 27 for arrivals. Is it still 2 runways being used for departures or just 1 at the moment? I am hearing something heavy spool up on center. And Chris Coot.
Yeah, 2 runways for departures.
Center and left still?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've added runway 27 to the arrivals list in the ticker. And oh, that's a 747 Air China Cargo. Air China. No wonder it was sounding like something heavy. It's a big ass queen. And we can follow it because it's going to make a right hand turn.
True.
And we'll be passing overhead in a moment. Well, in a couple of minutes. And considering A320s and A319s coming this way, that might be something worthwhile doing, since it makes for a nice change. Looks a bit pixelated. That's because I'm also using digital zoom in addition to optical zoom to get it as close as possible and as I can still reasonably follow. Air China Cargo off to Shanghai. Flight 1098. It's a 747-400 freighter. 17 years old, this one. First flight April 2006. Just for frame of reference, this is where it is now flying. Another shitload. One empty shitload is passing us by. Oh no, the tractor is going to reverse again. It's did that before already. It's done that before already, I should say. We have a reversing tractor here, going back to the north. the 747 also coming this way, completing its turn. Camera is now facing directly into the wind, which oddly enough I found out results in less wind noise than when the wind is blowing from behind for some reason. I already tried taping off the backside of the dead cat, thought maybe there was some air leaking into it.
Didn't help.
Didn't help, no difference at all. So yeah, I'm really thinking about a longer XLR cable and just put a second tripod here and the blimp. Maybe lose some of the audio.
I'm gonna make my way to the other side.
But you win not having any wind rumble on windy days. Circle and is now flying north of us. Quickly turn back so that the camera wires and power cables don't get tangled. And just in time for, is this Top Air Portugal?
No, it already landed.
No, oh, it's Ryanair. Ryanair might get loud, Ryanair flight 3006 arrival from Dublin, 737-800. Oh, 12-year-old airplane.
Nope.
It's not our day, Rick.
Nope.
It's not our day. And the A380 is above Almere. Het kan in Almere, is what their motto is.
Oh, really?
It is possible in Almere.
Anything is possible
Anything,
in Almere.
yeah, anything is possible. Well, the airplanes are still crabbing, the wind is still blowing. This is Air France flight 1640 arriving from Paris, Charles de Gaulle. 48 minutes underway, this one, now 49 minutes. I'm starting to feel that the sun is starting to give off a bit of warmth now for the first time.
It's getting better.
This airplane is 14 years old. 14.
Wow.
First flight was in April 2010. Also, the upshot of using a blimp would be that the camera as a whole has less surface area which hopefully will result in less vibrations as well. Might also be a big mistake.
We'll find out.
Right, let's see, where's the A380? It is in the vicinity of Amsterdam, so I think I have it already. The right cloud, where is it? All those clouds look alike. Yeah, I have it. Gear is still retracted. Let's first focus on also Amsterdam Southeast. I actually used to live there.
Oh, really?
Near the Arena Stadium. So they as the crow flies, those airplanes that are now flying to runway 27 would pass 100 meters from my home.
Nice.
I could discern Embraers by the sound of the engine sound alone. Now the gear is going down. At the risk of shaking heavily, a little bit more zoom. This is already with dynamic image stabilizer enabled, and as most of you know, I securely tighten my tripod to the ground with tent wires. Doing everything I can to mitigate those vibrations, but on days like today, it is just difficult. It is the standard livery, now number 5 on flight radar, Emirates flight 147, arrived from Dubai, and the airplanes always fly around 6.5 hours to get here. So too today, 6 hours and 37 minutes of flight time according to flight radar. The airplane is 9 years old, its first flight was in December 2014. Oh shit. I'm moving the camera with one hand, but I'm also gently holding the pen handle with a second arm, and that seems to mitigate the vibration somewhat. One hand off, let's zoom in a little, because if it is that stable, I can also incorporate a little bit more of zoom. Get a photobomb by EasyJet. Now sadly this is where we stop being able to follow the A380 while the tail still protrudes a little bit. Only a little bit. Yeah, and there you go. That was the A380 landing on the runway. Now, is there anything interesting coming very soon? I only
really,
see narrow bodies so far. Let's see. Filter just inbound. Let's see. All I'm seeing in Dutch airspace and over the North Sea is inbound narrow bodies. I think we have seen more than enough of those today, so I think I am going to wrap it up. Tomorrow and Sunday, also lovely weather, so I should be back same time tomorrow morning. Hopefully a bit more 747s and a bit less wind, although the wind provides nice crabbing action. I do like it when it is a bit more calm. So
That's true. Me too.
Well, I think it is time to wrap up. Rick,
Yeah.
first of all, thank you so much for co-hosting again today.
You're welcome.
It was an unexpected surprise, but I'm very happy that you came by and very happy again.
Yeah, it was
Always
fun.
a pleasure, so thank you so much for that. And also a big thank you to all the other people who have joined us again today for another live stream full of eventful things. Thank you for watching. Thanks for all the support, all the gifted memberships, the donations through PayPal, the super chats, the super stickers, and any merch store purchases, of course. Moderators, a big thank you to you for once again keeping the chat friendly and accessible. If you guys like what you saw and you haven't already, don't forget to drop a like. It really helps to spread this content to other aviation fans such as yourselves who might still not know the channel but might be interested in this as well. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to stay informed of upcoming live streams. Hope to see you again tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. And any final words, Rick?
Well, not really, but thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.
Right. Take care and see you on the next one. Bye bye.
Bye bye.